Like I said, I met him in Tupelo, I think the first time, a year or two ago, and we sat there and we talked about championship wrestling in Memphis for about an hour, didn't we? And it was great. And this guy, he's a passionate man. Just hang around him a little while, and I promise you, you just get better. Your mood gets better. Please welcome, sing one more song for us, Mr. Memphis Jones.
The normal people are in bed.
And the child molesters are on the front daggum row.
Beat me to my own joke.
Oh, man!
Earlier I made a comment, like I said, you know, it says a lot about a person if they put 4 pictures of themselves on their banner. And then I just happened to notice that he's seated right by it, so it's sort of like... Yeah. Because you know they're taking pictures for their social media.
Yeah.
And then I noticed your legs, and
oh yeah.
And I was gonna try to think of something funny to say about his legs until I noticed that his calves are bigger around than my chest. And I felt like I better not say anything funny about this man's legs. He might flex them, and I'll just go flying off.
Well, it's the Jeff Lewis and Friends Jeff Lewis's Jeff Lewis after party with the Jeff Lewis banner. That's the way I like it.
And Jeff Lewis legs.
Jeff Lewis's legs.
Yeah, Jeff Lewis.
Brought to you by the Tupelo Elvis Music Festival. Jeff
Thank
Lewis's
you, Tupelo.
legs.
Thank you, Tupelo, for presenting Jeff Lewis's legs and nothing else. I just do want to say this, Elvis fans. I want to say this. When Elvis moved to Memphis when he was 13, when Elvis moved here, you know, at 13, each and every person here, you know where you were when you were 13. You know how everything the world said made better sense than anything you've ever heard, and if they said you were good enough, then good, and if they said you weren't good enough, then not good enough. Elvis came to Memphis, and he literally lived right up the street. He would walk down 2nd Street, he would walk down 3rd Street, and he would stand right out here on this street corner. Now, if you're a real Elvis fan, if you're a real music lover, this will mean something to you. If not, that's totally cool. You're a top water, you just want to come and have fun, enjoy it. I want you to enjoy it. But if you are down there in the deep end, and Elvis is just this special thing, like you got more than one Elvis ornament on your Christmas tree. Okay. Praise the Lord. I love enthusiasm. If you're one of those, then what I'm about to say is for you. A kid named Elvis who was so shy that he never even completed a sentence until he was in the 11th grade in high school. A kid named Elvis who was so shy that when he sang at the Mississippi-Alabama State Fair, he put on some glasses that he could hide behind. A kid named Elvis whose father went to jail, a kid named Elvis who lived in a mixed neighborhood, a kid named Elvis who wore the same jeans every single day for a year, stood out here on this street corner and he heard the sounds of rhythm and blues and he wondered in his heart, why can I not sing that? Why am I the only white person? I know, don't be offended. Well, if you're a white person, I'm sorry, I just offended you. Why am I the only white person on Beale Street tonight? Why am I the only person who gets this music? And he was not just a singer, friends. He was a catalyst. And the social change that happened in the 60s was made possible by the kids who watched him on TV in the 50s. He's an American hero is what he is. He's more than that. He's an American hero. And it was in the building where you find yourself at this very moment in 1954 when he was invited in by Bernard Lansky. And Bernard Lansky said, let me sell you something. And this kid said, Mr. Lansky, you know, I don't have any money. And Mr. Lansky said, well, that doesn't matter. Let me show you around. He extended some friendship. He extended some respect to this poor kid who was used to being turned out. And when Elvis looked around here, he came back up to Mr. Lansky, and you've heard it a million times. Maybe you've heard it from Mr. Lansky himself or his son Hal, who still runs Lansky's right over there. And I'm looking at Joe Lansky's right there. He said, Mr. Lansky, someday I'm going to come back here and I'm going to buy you out. And Lansky said, son, don't buy me out, just buy from me. And Elvis did. time and time again, in this building, Elvis Presley and brought his friends. But here's what I want to say. Elvis did not invent rock and roll. Elvis in 1954 didn't do it. If you ask me point blank, I'd say Ike Turner did. And we could talk about that after church service if you want to. But Elvis perfected it. Every rock and roller that you can find today is doing their own version of what Elvis did half a century ago in Memphis, Tennessee. And those of you who remember the rock and rollers from the 80s with their big crazy hair, those of you who remember those crazy rockers in the 90s with their long combed hair, those of you who remember the rockers in the early 2000s with their flat iron hair, Elvis started that. Elvis is the guy who brought wild hair into rock and roll. Those of you who like Jim Morrison's leather outfits, those of you who like to see Iggy Pop running around in clear vinyl pants on stage, Elvis started that. Wild outfits. Elvis Presley invented the look of rock and roll, and he did it right where we are tonight at Last Day. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. I'm ready. God bless you. Thank you for letting me do that.
Memphis, it's an honor to have you here, man. It's an honor to have you. I mean, this is so great. All right, you ready, brother?
Yeah, I was invited to sing a song that we sang at the Ultimate a couple years ago. I kind of just ran out on stage with my camera crew and appropriated the mic, and we were doing "If I Can Dream." So I'm going to cheat with my lyrics here, but let's see.
All right, Mark Anthony. Okay, here we go.
Let's see how it goes. I'm going to stand here by your legs. And if you want to sing it too, you can sing it too. I need the help. I wish I had an ascot. Does anyone have one I can borrow? There must be one burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in the sky, more blue. If I can dream of a better land, all my brothers walk hand in hand. Tell me why, oh why can my dream come true? Oh why there must be peace and understanding sometime. Amen, amen. That you promise that will blow away the doubt. Don't pull me down in fear. If I can dream of a warmer sun where hope keeps shining on everyone, tell me why, oh why won't that sun appear? Okay, here we go. We're lost in a cloud with too much rain, witchcraft in the world that's troubled with pain. But as long as a man has the strength to dream, he can redeem his soul and fly. In my heart, there's a genuine question. Still I am sure that the answer is gonna come somehow. Out there in the dark, there's a breath that you can't know. While I can dream, while I can talk, while I can stand, while I can walk, if I can dream, just let my dream come true. Right now, let it come true right now. Let it come true right now. Elvis had that song written after the death of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Memphis, Tennessee. Elvis was a lover of people. He loved people. He was a kind-hearted, open-hearted person. And when I'm singing this song like a clown, but you guys stand up at the end to honor that moment in music history, guys, I salute you. Music lovers, welcome home. Memphis Jones loves you.
Memphis Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Love you, man. Keep having that.
All right, where's E-Rock?